So here we have a video that is going to give you an overview in detail on the final essay that is going to be due at the end of June, or just a couple of days before the last day of school. This is the final piece of work that you're going to be working on. And if you have been working appropriately on the evidence-based essential question quizzes, then you really are just going to be finessing and seasoning and editing everything into final publication after you work through the graphic organizer. So one thing I do want to focus on, if you have been doing the final essential question pieces, they look something like this, right? And if you have done them, you will see feedback from me, really looking at how do I work smart and not hard and bring this into my paper, right? So this one was about forgiveness and apologies, and I have ideas for a sin or religious paragraph in your paper. Um, Maybe even the fact that Dimsdale, the male, is questioned on his apology. We can compare it to Hester's apology and make it more of the feminism topic. So there's a lot of feedback here and a lot of extensions for how you can copy and paste this into your paper and add it to your paper instead of coming up with a completely new paragraph all on its own. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand, why are we doing the essential question paragraphs? Because it's analysis that can go in my paper later. So if you have been doing things, props to you, you're getting feedback. This paper is going to be a breeze. If not, I highly suggest you do this first. So I wanted to go over really quickly the prompts. They have shifted a little based on our conversations in class and what is most interesting to us. You will find these in the yellow final essay folder on Schoology. So your objective is, after reading and listening to The Scarlet Letter and its paired graphic novel and cultural connection sources, students will make an argument answering the prompt of their choice using the argumentative writing rubric that you have seen before. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics, and you are welcome to bring a different one to us and see if we're cool with that one. So the first one is sin and redemption. If you were intrigued by this theme in the novel, you can compare it to how today's society talks about sin, deals with different people's concepts and ideas of redemption. This is also good with the second theme, compassion and forgiveness. Again, comparing it to today and questioning, who has the power really to forgive? Is that in the victim's hands? Is it us as a society? Do you want to pull in religion from, using particular religious texts? So the first two are more about feelings and experiences that happened in the Scarlet Letter and comparing them to if this were to happen today. Then you have the theme of isolation and public shame. We did an article on this with celebrities in Hollywood, and there is an additional article on prison and isolation. So really comparing and discussing Boston in the 1600s. They used isolation and public shame to punish Hester. What was that impact? How did she change? Remember, you have a whole paragraph you've written about that on chapter 13, essential question quiz. And then comparing it to today. And you can use, the articles and cultural connection pieces that we have given in class as a source. Another option is female identity and double standards. We talked about this the second most, I would say. Just women and comparing them to men, Dimsdale's actions in the affair, Hester's actions in the affair, and today. And the icon that we used in the cultural connection was Kim Kardashian compared to Kanye West, custody battles, divorce proceedings, social media, also included in public shame. So that could kind of cross into the other one. And the final one is probably what we talked about the most, children and parent relationships, and comparing Pearl from the Scarlet Letter to children and experiences today. So you're going to have all these as options. If you want to look back and see how can I use work I've already done as evidence for my choice. You have all the articles and their location on Schoology right here for you. In addition, you can also look at your Friday written prompts to see if you can get rid of personal pronouns and use that for your paper. And then this is sort of what your paper will end up looking like. I know a lot of you guys like to ask how many pages, how many words, how many paragraphs. You're going to probably start with your introduction. You're going to talk about the issue that you chose and how it's discussed in the Scarlet Letter. Use an evidence paragraph from the essential question quiz. Another one to add to your claim. Then you're going to compare it to today's society with the same issue that you're discussing. A cultural connection paragraph. So this is a source that we already have read in class, and you're going to come up with one new source. So part of this is that research piece that we talked about in November. You're going to be coming up with your own source in the graphic organizer, and then your conclusion. So it looks like if I did a paragraph per thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like it's going to be about 6 paragraphs total. Okay, so how do I get started? First, remember you're going to be doing the essential question quizzes, so you have something to copy and paste over. And then you're going to start mapping out how you're going to do this. So day 1, I've mapped out each day, so it's more bite size. But Wednesday, May 18th, that's today, you're really just anticipating what are you going to be writing about, right? Use this link to read the options and type below what you are going to select. I am going to write about, and you're going to tell me. And then in 2 to 3 sentences, why is this the most interesting topic to you? We want to have you guys interested and leaning into this piece to make it, more plausible that you complete it and finish it and learn something and tell us and show us what you've learned. What do you already know about this topic? Use your phone or a computer to type and write about it for 10 minutes on the topic at hand. This can include thoughts on Hawthorne's work, your personal work, and new findings. And then what new knowledge do you want to know about this topic? So what are you going to write about? Why do you want to write about it? What do you already know about it? And what do you want to know about it? I'm going to start giving examples in the graphic organizer. So if you are good with that knowledge, I would pause this video and work on the yellow boxes. And when you're ready to move on, play this video just going up to these green boxes. So if you are done with the yellow boxes, you're here looking at the green boxes, and you're going to be looking through your past work and deciding what can I use that I've already written, that I've already read, that I've already done and submitted, and Ms. Patrick gave me my feedback. What can I already use, and how am I going to use it in my paper? Pick 2 things. How did these sources portray your issue back then in the 1600s? And what is this issue in society like today? So this one will probably be more based on the Scarlet Letter, and this one will probably be based on the cultural connection pieces. And again, you have examples from me. The next portion that you're going to be working on is finding a new source on your topic, right? So if I'm talking about feminism and double standards, that's what I'm going to be using Google Scholar to look at. I want the link, I want the title, and I want the author, and then I want you guys to give me 5 bullet points. Then, a week from Wednesday the 18th, you're going to be prepping for the final draft with the color-coded thesis statement that we have done since November, right? So the topic is in red, the claim or your argument is in green, and then the reasons are going to be in purple. So in my example, I'm going to ask you questions on my example here so that we make sure that you understand how to craft yours, okay? I'm also using this opportunity to show you how I'm going to come up with my paragraphs. That's sort of going to be my outline. And then you're going to come up with your own thesis statement, answering the same questions you answered for mine, for your own. And then you are ready to start your introduction paragraph, okay? What I want this to look like is a regular paragraph that introduces your theme in reference to the Scarlet Letter and in reference to today. And then hopefully you will copy and paste it into a draft submission. And then you're going to start copying and pasting your essential question paragraphs edited to fit in and support your argument. Okay. So I know this is a very detailed and long overview. You should only watch what you are going to work on. Okay. So that's why they are color coded. Stay that day in that yellow. Do not move on to the green until you're done with the yellow, right? And then don't go on to purple until you're done with the green. So it's all building upon each other to get you started. And at the bottom here, you have a example of an introduction paragraph after I did all the graphic organizer work. Okay. So once that is completed, you'll be able to move on and start copying and pasting and editing your old paragraphs that support your claim in the draft. So what you're starting on initially, you have the prompts, the guides, the graphic organizer, and we will go from there. And this video is also uploaded so that you can pause and see what am I doing on each color box day. Right.